We also do customized bridal wedding gloves. So if you're looking for some crochet gloves, yeah, I have. Hello my viewer and welcome back to Kate's Crochet. And today I would like us to work on gloves, which was requested by one of my viewers, and so I just decided that I should share this with all of us. Okay, so I'm using this yarn, which is white color, and it's Winter King, and a crochet hook 3.5 millimeters. Okay, so now we are going to start by making the wrist part. So you start by doing a slip knot, and you make a chain, and this will depend with your the length that you want your glove to have, like this part. So I'm going to do a chain of 15 for this particular one. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So this is mine, and I'm going to add one more. So now to start the first row, I'm going to skip the added chain, and to the second one I'm going to do a single crochet. I'll single crochet to the next, and single crochet all the way through this row. I'm at the end of the row and I finish with one single crochet. That is our first row. So I'm going to chain one and turn my work, and now on this row we are going to work single crochets, but on the back loop. As you can see on top here, we have two loops, the front and the back, so we are going to work on the back loop. So you chain one, you skip that first stitch, to the second you work a single crochet on the back loop, and you single crochet on the back loop all through this row. We want that ribbing effect. And we're going to repeat this single crochet on the back loop until we get our desired size. So I'm at the end of the row and I finish with one single crochet. Make sure that you grab that last stitch so that you do not decrease your work. So I work a single crochet on the last stitch. I want to grab the two loops since it's the last stitch of this row. I chain one and turn, and again I repeat what I did on the previous row, working on the back loop only. So now you will continue this until you get that size you want. So you will know the size when you fit here and it covers the whole of your wrist. Okay, so now I'll continue working on mine. It keeps on growing until it goes all around to the other side, and I meet you when you have yours as well. So mine fits me, and if the yarn that you're using is stretchy, make sure that you leave some space so that when you stretch it, now it can join together like that. Yeah, so now the next thing that we sorry, will do, it's joining the two sides together. So we are just going to, I'm still using the hook. I'm not going to cut the yarn because I'm not changing color. So now we are going to grab this yarn and the first stitch on the other side, and you're going to join with slip stitches. So make sure you grab the opposite stitch and you slip stitch. You join this to the end to this other part, and I meet you on that other side. I've joined the two sides, and since this is the part where we joined, so now we are going to turn so that this becomes now the wrong side. We turn it inside out, and this is how it looks so far. Yeah, so now we continue, and once you turn, we are going to chain one, and now here you have a choice. You can decide to make one row of single crochets or just go direct to the stitch that we are going to do. So we are going to do a shell stitch, which is very easy. I've worked this before with you. So we are going to chain two. Remember, we had already chained one, so it's a chain of three, and in the same stitch we are going to do double crochet, such that now we have two double crochets. Chain one or two and two double crochets, one and two. So we form a shell in that one stitch. So now we are going to skip, we are going to be working the shells. I don't know if you can see. So we are going to be working the shells between, we skip one ribbing and we do a shell on the next. Yeah. So now after working that first one, we skip this next ribbing, and on the next we work a shell, which is two double crochets, chain one, two double crochets. Yeah, we skip one ribbing, the next ribbing, and on the next we work a shell, one double crochet, another double crochet, chain one, and in the same stitch two double crochets, and we repeat this to the end of the row. I'm at the end of the row, and we finish by doing a slip stitch on top of the chain three that we began with. So we slip stitch inside this chain 1 and we chain 3. And now we are going to repeat this row, and we shall be working the shells between the chain 1 spaces. Okay, so once you chain 3, you work a double crochet inside that chain 1, chain 1 and 2 double crochets. So that is our first shell. Skip this space here, you go to the next shell and you work a shell on top of that. That is, you work a shell inside the chain 1 space, just as we were doing in the previous row. 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 double crochets, and you repeat this all the way to the end of this row, and I meet you on the other side of this row. I'm at the end of the row, and when you fit your glove, it should perfectly fit so well. It should not be too tight and again not too loose. Let it just fit like this. So now at the end of this row, I'm going to slip stitch and continue doing this process for number of rows until you get to your thumb. Okay, so you will continue this doing the same, and once you get here, I'll be back with my glove and we continue from there. So keep working. I'm back with my glove and I've reached the thumb, and so far I've done 1 2 3 4 5 rows of the lacy stitch. So now we are going to be creating a hole for the thumb, as our glove is fingerless, so we shall work it until this point. So at this point we need to create that hole for the thumb, and now we continue with the same stitch until we get our desired size. So now let's get to creating the hole. So now once have slip stitched, again slip stitch on the first double crochet and slip stitch on the hole, the chain 1 space, and now I make a chain of 3, and I'm going to make a shell as usual in that first shell, and that is my first shell. And what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to skip the next shell, this one, and I'm going to work on the shell after that. So we skip this one and work a shell on the next. And now that creates the hole for our thumb. Okay, so now we continue with the same process, making shells on top of the previous shells, and that is inside the chain 1 space. So continue doing this, and I meet you at the end of this row. I'm at the end of this row, and I'm going to slip stitch on top of the first chain 3. I'm going to slip stitch on the next double crochet and slip stitch inside the shell, chain 3, and now I would like us to see how it fits in our hand. So where we've created the space for the thumb, we are going to wear the thumb there. Wow, and it just fits so well. Wow, this is so beautiful. Yeah, so this is how so far it is like. So now we are going to continue doing the shells until we get to that point. Okay, so now continue doing what we were doing, and now I'll meet you with our final. This is the size that I want. Yeah, so after the hole where we created, I did 4 more rows, so the total number of rows is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Remember we did 5 before we created this space. Yeah, and this is all about these gloves. So for the other hand, you do the same, because you know it is fingerless, so you can switch hands. Any can fit on any hand. So you can decide to enhance this with some decor, like some beading or some flowers, that is crochet flowers or bow ties, or so I'll know what to enhance this with. Yeah, and I'll attach some photos. This is so comfortable. Wow, very comfortable. So we can as well customize this for a wedding, you know, the wedding gloves. So we make them a little bit shorter, like we reduce one row of shells and then we create that string that goes around the middle finger, you know. Yeah, I'm loving the white color. How do you like this? Which color would you like for this? So thank you so much for viewing this to the end. Please subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, comment down below, and please share. Yes, you just click share and you share on your WhatsApp status, share on your Facebook, on your Insta stories, on your Instagram, on your Twitter. Yeah, and let's keep growing. So thank you so much. God bless you.